Director of Athletics, J Batt, joins us. First of all, I know you've been busy, but congratulations. This is some kind of undertaking here.
Well, thanks, Pat. We've been running hard, and as you know, any one of these things is a team effort from the planning to the institutional alignment. You know, we've got such a great leader in President Cabrera that has put us in this position to be successful, and you know, we're excited to get public with this campaign. We've had donors stepping up since we've been here. And really, it's kind of culminating in an awesome day to finally be able to share these publicly.
You know, $500 million project. You've already raised $300 million. And, you know, when we were here a couple of weeks ago and we were, because of the weather, we had to go into the stadium, I told you, I said, there's not a bad seat in the place. It's just got this tradition and this history and this feel. And even though you're going to modernize it, it will still have that vibe, right, that makes it such a unique place.
Absolutely. You know, we often talk about how this is the best setting in college football. And, you know, tomorrow night, under the lights with the skyline of Atlanta behind us, you know, kind of our position as the center of college football in the South will be really on display again. And so part of the renovations is to really enhance that, both on the premium seating side for some of our different donors and supporters, but also for every fan in the stadium. That's something we're really important to us is that, you know, we convert from the chairbacks or from the bleacher seatings to chairbacks throughout the building, new video boards, new sound system. You know, at the end of the day, we're the Georgia Institute of Technology, not just Atlanta, and so we want those seats for all Georgians to be great.
You know, we talk about fan experience all the time, whether we're here in Atlanta or whatever. It doesn't matter where we are. And if you're not doing this, you're falling so far behind that, quite frankly, it's a great recruiting tool as well. I mean, every player comes walking in there, they want to see that there's a progress, there's something cool happening, and this gives you instant credibility and a vibe, without a doubt.
Well, you know, we started, and really the anchor around some of this work is our fanning center, which, you know, as you said, if you don't have a crane going, you're not doing.
That's right.
We've got a bunch of cranes on our campus, from the Tech Tower project over to Tech Square to now even our fanning center. That's under construction, $90 million worth of work happening today, and this will just certainly add to that.
You mean there's that kind of money in college athletics, Jim?
No. Just our Georgia Tech grads are pretty darn successful.
That's part of it, right? But I mean, you got to do this. I mean, I think it's the one thing, if you travel, if you're a fan base or an administrator or whatever, you travel around the country and you see what everybody's doing, that you say, guess what? This is what we got to do to stay competitive on the ultimate level.
Absolutely, and I think part of this is that, you know, really the trend nationally has been not to more seats but better seats. And so we're really embracing that, whether it's our general seating bowl, the different premium seating products from Founders Suites, Founders Clubs, different bunker clubs, some little speakeasy things that'll be pretty cool. Those better seats, the game day experience investment's huge.
How about the basketball center? I know we got football on the brain, but again, we got basketball media days Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll talk to Damon Stoudemire later in the program. There's a momentum with that as well, without question.
You know, the Zelnak practice facility is a great facility. We've got a great facility today, but we're going to invest big time in basketball, both men and women. This is huge for us, and so we'll put about $25 million into this practice facility. You know, dramatically increase the square footage, dramatically increase the strength and conditioning, sports medicine, practice facility, as well as technology throughout. And then a big, we're going to fly the Georgia Tech flag right in Midtown. And so you can see from those renderings, there's going to be a 3-story building with the lit up GT right in the middle, overlooking the connector and across from all those businesses and Fortune 500 companies in Midtown.
Well, speaking of, I mean, because you do have the advantage of being in a great city, and this is a vibrant marketplace. From a corporate perspective, you really do have a big advantage. And again, I know there's some ACC teams in major metropolitan areas. You got obviously right here in your backyard, the Coca-Cola building basically is right behind us. The advantage that you have from that perspective too.
It's a big part of what makes the Georgia Tech value proposition unique. We have not only world-class education here on our campus, which is a beautiful campus, but to your point, we're surrounded by so many Fortune 500 companies. We have a startup ecosystem with our CreateX program and our institutional kind of track towards those startups. We have a huge opportunity with those businesses, and our student athletes take advantage of that. You know, we've got a summer-long internship program where our student athletes travel to different businesses, take in different experiences. It's a point of focus for us, and we really do feel like we take advantage here in Atlanta.
What's next? I mean, I know this is priority one.
Sure.
That's a given, a $500 million project. But where are we going? If I said to you, Jay, the year 2035 looks like what? What would you guess this thing looks like?
Well, I wouldn't tell you I have a crystal ball because otherwise I'd probably be wrong. But, I'll tell you, $500 million is a big number. But the idea for that big number is that we're going to kind of raise the bar comprehensively. It's not just the projects. And I think that's an important part of this, is that this is a campaign to set us up for that next 10 years. And, at Georgia Tech, I think our position is that we need to be winning championships at the highest level across all of our sports. And so for us, what that looks like is continued commitment. And that's never a standstill place. That's a continued raising of the bar, continued recommitting to whatever that highest level continues to be. And so I think that's part of, if you ask where we're going to be, I'm not sure where the goal line's going to be, but I know Georgia Tech athletics is going to be pressing right on top of it.
Yeah, that line moves every day.
It
right?
does.
I mean, forget about 10 years, 10 days from now. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be talking about between lawsuits and court cases and everything else. It's kind of a fake left, go right situation.
Well, you got to stay on top of it, and, we certainly do that. And our ultimate goal hasn't changed and won't change, and we'll continue to push towards it. And I think, that crystal ball is still pretty foggy, but I think at the end of the day, I know we've got incredible leadership in our league. We've got incredible strength in our league, whether it's on the field for our football teams, our basketball teams, men, women, other, baseball, golf, whatever it might be, but also just as we have such a great collection of institutions with such strength and great leadership at the conference level. I know that the ACC is going to keep on keeping on and look really strong as we go.
And as far as Georgia Tech goes, I mean, obviously you got to get really good coaches, and we've talked about how you've hit some home runs from that perspective. Again, tomorrow night's game, Duke's undefeated. Here comes Georgia Tech. Should be a tremendous game here on ACC Network in prime time. And Coach Key is just a perfect fit for what this represents. He's got blood, sweat, tears. He's got sweat equity. I get all that stuff. But just the mindset just works so well with what Georgia Tech's all about.
There's nobody in the country that understands what we do here at Georgia Tech and what it takes to be successful than Brent Key. And, the authenticity of his leadership, it bleeds through everything he does. You can tell from his intensity here on the screen, but also, just how much he cares for our kids and how much he cares about our institute. It's really, really, it's been fun to work with him as we're continuing to build this program.
And I know we got basketball too. We'll talk to Damon coming up next hour, and he seems to be a natural fit. I mean, this is it's an urban community. It understands basketball. You've got great tradition and history going back to Bobby Crimmins when he got this thing turned around and rocking and rolling back in yesteryear. And he seems to be a perfect fit for where the direction of college basketball is going.
Damon Sotomayor is a tremendous fit for us, and I'll say it. The Atlanta basketball community has embraced him, and he's embraced it. We brought back former players. We have alums that are involved and around, and really, we've got James Forrest is back on our staff. I mean, we've really plugged into that tradition, that history, because again, that's where we belong.
Right.
Like Georgia Tech basketball. Super excited, by the way, on the 15th of November, we play Georgia at home at McCamish. We're going to put Dennis Scott's jersey in the rafter.
So cool.
Such a fun night for us.
And I'll be honest with you, when I heard that this week, I'm like, well, surely it's been there before. And I was stunned that hadn't been up there, because I remember, listen, I can go back when Crimmins and Georgia Tech joined the league, and you're like, oh, my God, you were playing in a dungeon, and even people didn't know what in the Georgia Tech doing in the ACC. And Bobby Crimmins came in here during this amazing era of unbelievable coaches and made Georgia Tech incredibly relevant, not only within the league, but nationally.
Well, it's a one of the cooler moments having been here was to surprise Dennis Scott live on TV, NBA TV, and for Coach Stoudemire and I to let him know that his jersey was going in the rafters, and it's going to be a fun night.
Boy, he was so much fun to watch. Those teams are scary good.
Well, we hope to be back to that exact place back. That's the plan.
Well, listen, keep up the good work.
Yes,
Always
sir.
love coming down to Atlanta. You guys got it going on, and that place is going to be spectacular when you're finished with it. No
Thanks so
question.
much.